Welcome. My name is Faina Stern. I'm a physician and founder of the AdMeTech Foundation, the event organizer. AdMeTech Foundation is a non-profit organization providing leadership for groundbreaking programs in prostate cancer at the state, national, and international levels. Our programs have been transforming patient care for everyone and reducing health disparities in Black, Hispanic, and Latino men. This event is organized in collaboration with the Prostate Cancer Action Council. I'd like to express my gratitude to members of the council, most of them our partners for over a decade, including American Cancer Society Action Network, Center for Elimination of Health and Social Inequities and Disparities, or CEHSID, Community Health Awareness Network Growth Equity Change, Latino Health Insurance Program, LHIP, Massachusetts Prostate Cancer Coalition, Men of Color Health Awareness, MOCA, multiple branches of the NAACP located in Massachusetts, and the independent Blue Ribbon Expert Panel representing leading academic clinical institutions in our state. Today, we honor memory of Nak Vaisaki, my father, and Representative Stephen Kulik. My dad was a lifelong warrior for the vulnerable and underprivileged, particularly the elderly, immigrants, and ethnic and racial minorities. He was a regular participant of this annual event every year, well into his 90s. My work with AdMeTech Foundation in general, and this event specifically, are dedicated to my dad, who was a prostate cancer survivor. Representative Kulik was also a prostate cancer survivor. He hosted this event for over 10 years, since its creation in 2009 until his retirement in 2019. Steve was also the key champion of our prostate cancer programs in medical education, public awareness, and research. I hope this event reflects my father and Steve's legacy and passion for making a difference and helping anyone in need, one person at a time. Looking back at the last 17 years, I'd like to highlight history and the key landmarks of this event. In 2009, we held the first annual Prostate Cancer Awareness Day at the State House. In 2010, Governor Deval Patrick issued a proclamation initiating a new annual transition to recognize this event as the Massachusetts Prostate Cancer Awareness Day. Since 2011, in response to our advocacy, Massachusetts General Court created a historic precedent by recognizing prostate cancer as a central issue in men's health, public health priority, and leading health disparity. In 2013, with support of the Massachusetts legislative leadership, we established a prostate cancer research program with the priority focus on clinical trial of prostate MRI. At that time, no other public or private organizations, including NIH, were willing to support MRI and related research. Our trial showed a groundbreaking impact of prostate MRI, which improved early detection by 5 times and proportionately reduced unnecessary procedures. MRI has become the first reliable imaging tool for prostate cancer and created a new standard in prostate cancer diagnosis, ending the era of blind patient care. There are no blind biopsies or blind treatment performed today without MRI. MRI has become particularly important for Black men whose physical exam alone, without precision imaging, is more likely to miss prostate cancer compared to white men. In 2014, we expanded prostate cancer program to include a statewide public awareness campaign with the focus on the high-risk, vulnerable, and underserved individuals. We established Prostate Cancer Action Council and together reached well over 70,000 people by 2026. While prostate cancer is curable when detected early, Black, including Hispanic and Latino men, are 2.5 times more likely to die compared to white men. In 2016, we added medical education to our program when we held the first annual Global Summit on Precision Diagnosis and Treatment of Prostate Cancer. Unlike other educational events, which are based primarily on a single clinical specialty, our summit brought together the key international opinion leaders representing every clinical field involved in patient care. This summit stimulated a cross-disciplinary dialogue and has been widely recognized as having a seminal impact on medical education and building consensus on the best clinical practices and research priorities. Our summit has been instrumental in expediting pioneering research in radiogenomics, integrating information from imaging and genetic testing for precision diagnosis and care. In 2022, we launched Prostate Cancer Equity Resource Project. This has been a joint effort with Mass General Brigham, UMass, and ACP branches and Latino Health Insurance Program, and more recently, Beth Israel Lahey. Our joint goal is to expedite access of Massachusetts men to the best patient care available today and support them every step of the prostate health journey. This program is open to any Massachusetts man age 40 and older, and our priority focus is on Black, including Hispanic and Latino men, who are at higher risk of the delayed diagnosis, poor quality care, and death. In 2023, based on our summit recommendations, we established international working group to expedite clinical validation and large-scale implementation of minimally invasive focal treatment of prostate cancer to improve men's quality of life and reduce healthcare costs. Accurate imaging, such as MRI, made it possible to focus treatment on cancer while reducing damage to normal surrounding tissues and related complications. In 2024, our group designed a research study which was initiated last year. Minimally invasive procedures are the future of prostate cancer care. They will replace radical surgery in many men, similarly to minimally invasive lumpectomy that replaced radical mastectomy in women with breast cancer for the last several decades. We call it male lumpectomy. I would like to thank our event hosts, Senator Pavel Payano and Representative Sean Garbalay, who watched friends and family members dealing with prostate cancer. Representatives Robert Consalvo and Bud Williams, who are concerned about the impact of prostate cancer on men, families, and communities in their districts. Our keynote speakers include Senate President Karet Spilka and Speaker of the House Ronald Mariano, who made prostate cancer our state's legislative priority. Our featured speakers are champions of the prostate cancer program in our state, including Senate Majority Leader Cynthia Cream, and Senate Majority Whip Mike Rush. Senator John Keenan, Chair of the Joint Committee on Election Laws and Prostate Cancer Survivor. House Leader Carlos Gonzalez, 3rd Division Chair. Representatives Marjorie Decker, Chair, Joint Committee on Public Health, and John Long, Chair of the Joint Committee on Healthcare Financing. Representatives Jessica Giannina and Russell Holmes, who jointly with AdMeTech hosted prostate cancer awareness events in their districts. We are grateful to many speakers who joined us today. Our partners in Prostate Cancer Equity Resource Project and Public Awareness, and the key principles of the Prostate Cancer Council. This event was made possible by AdMeTech staff members Thomas Satam, Emma Coyert, Havadan Soka, and Emily Mao, and our outstanding interns Daniel Adonisio of Dana-Farber and Julie Satterthwaite of Temple University Medical School. We want to thank our event managers, Nancy Petkunas and Josh Garneau, Nexus for Success. Technical team, led by Bill Windeknecht of KLB Productions. Finally, I would like to acknowledge our sponsors. We are proud to be supported by global leaders in prostate cancer research and care, including Blue Earth Diagnostics, Johnson & Johnson, and Lantheus. Again, welcome to our 17th annual Prostate Cancer Awareness Day. Co-MC, Thomas Satam. Thomas is Director of Health Policy and Operations at the AdMeTech Foundation. Thomas, please.
Thank you, Dr. Stern. I've been here for 7 years, and doing this event is always an honor as well. First up, we're going to have to speak and to give an opening prayer is Reverend Brenda Brown, Senior Pastor of Massachusetts Avenue Baptist Church. Reverend Brown, are you on here?
Yes, I am. Could you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to all of you. This is a great day. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we are rejoicing and being glad in it. Father, we come thanking you for this day, God. Father, we thank you, Lord God, with all the things that's going on around us. Father, we thank you, Lord God, for this committee. We thank you for the leader, Lord God. Father, we know, Lord God, that you are in the midst of everything. So, God, I ask a special blessing on the leaders, Father, the researchers, Father, everyone, even the patients, Lord. Father, you said we could do nothing without you. And Father, as we take the time out, Lord God, to participate in prostate cancer, Father, we know that you're going to lead, guide, and protect. So I ask these things in your name, do that only you could do. And we will give you the glory. We will give you the honor. We will give you the praise. Father, touch the head of the health department and fix, Lord God. Father, you know our hearts. You know what's bothering us. But Father, we count it all done. And these are the blessings in your holy name. Amen and amen.
Thank you so much, Reverend Brown. Thank you very much for a very, very moving opening prayer. Our next speaker is Jordan Rich, board member, Massachusetts Prostate Cancer Coalition.
Hello, I'm Jordan Rich, board member of the Massachusetts Prostate Cancer Coalition and host of our podcast series, Prostate Cancer and You. On behalf of everyone at MPCC, welcome to Prostate Cancer Awareness Day. MPCC is proud to be a longtime partner of the AdMeTech Foundation in supporting this important annual event, one that brings together patients, survivors, families, clinicians, advocates, and community leaders from across the Commonwealth. Today is about awareness, but it's also about connection. connection to reliable information, connection to support, and connection to hope. This year is especially meaningful for us as the Massachusetts Prostate Cancer Coalition celebrates 25 years of education, advocacy, and support for men and families affected by prostate cancer. For a quarter century, MPCC has worked to ensure that no one faces this disease alone. Across Massachusetts, we continue to educate men at risk, support those newly diagnosed, and stand alongside survivors and their loved ones. While significant progress has been made in research, diagnosis, and treatment, there is still more work to do. We invite you to visit masspcc.org to explore resources including support groups, updates on prostate cancer research and treatment, our podcast series, and information about our annual symposium, this year to be held on Friday, June 5th. Together, we are strengthening awareness, advancing education, and improving outcome today and for generations to come. Thank you for being part of this important day.
Thank you, Jordan. The next speaker that we're going to have is Lovo Caligo, founder and CEO of the Community Health Awareness Network Growth Equity. Lovo's been a long-term partner with AdMeTech for many years. So, Lovo?
Good morning, everybody, community leaders, survivors, advocates, and honored guests. My name is Lovo D. Caligo. I am a registered nurse, a public health advocate, and founder and CEO of Community Health Awareness Network Growth Equity Change. It is truly an honor to have the opportunity of participating in the 17th Annual Prostate Cancer Awareness Day. Today is just not about awareness. It is about access, trust, equity, and most importantly, it is about saving lives. And that is who is Change. Change was established in 2018 to improve health equity, quality, and access in underserved communities, particularly African immigrant and low-income populations in Worcester and beyond. Our mission is to empower and strengthen vulnerable immigrant communities through health education, outreach, screening, and creating access to comprehensive, culturally sensitive care and resources. Our vision is an empowered immigrant community continuously working towards wellness through education, primary prevention, and healthy living. Our focus area is basically health education, as you may already know, outreach, screening, and resources. We do health education and training, youth opportunities we create. We support mass health enrollment and coverage assistance within our community. And one of our biggest program is our Voice of Change, to which we have connected with AdMeTech. At Change, we believe health equity is not optional. It is essential. We meet people where they are, and that is in churches, in community centers, community spaces, trusted spaces, even in their living rooms. We do this because health education must be culturally responsive and community rooted. So our Voice of Change have connected us to AdMeTech, and our Voice of Change program is a virtual health education and advocacy platform that is designed to increase community awareness about chronic disease prevention, address misinformation and stigma around mental health and other disease conditions, provide resources on navigating the healthcare system, and future trusted voices from within the community and local health experts. Prostate cancer is one of the most common cancers affecting men. According to the American Cancer Society and the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, many men experience no symptoms in early stages. When detected early, survival rates are extremely high. When detected late, treatment becomes more invasive, costly, and life-threatening. Screening is not about assuming illness. Screening is about protecting life. And early detection gives men more treatment options, better outcome, reduce suffering, and time is precious, especially when it's spent with their families. Early action saves lives. But let's be honest, many men in underserved communities delay screening, not because they do not care, but because of barriers that exist. Barriers like cost and insurance gaps, language differences, transportation challenges, fear of the diagnosis, the cultural stigma, and yes, there is the mistrust in our system. In many communities, mistrust is not imagined, it is inherited. Historical mistreatment, dismissive encounters, and lack of representations have left scars, and trust cannot be demanded. Trust must be built, and it is built through community partnerships, of which we have built one with AdMeTech, transparency, cultural humility, representation, policies that remove cost barriers, investment in community-based outreach. And this is why partnership matters. And we are proud of our historic partnership with the AdMeTech Foundation. Through this collaboration, we have increased awareness in underserved communities, promoted education around early detection, brought conversation around prostate cancer into trusted spaces. Partnerships like this bridge the gap between research institutions and grassroots communities. Moving forward, we envision expanding community-based screenings initiative, multilingual prostate health education campaigns, legislative advocacy for equitable screening access, data-driven outreach for health risk population, and further engagement, because prevention must be normalized and not fear. Black men face significantly high rates of prostate cancer incidence and mortalities. Immigrant men are often diagnosed late. These disparities are not biological accident. They are systemic outcomes. Outcomes shaped by access, policy, economics, trust. If we want different outcomes, we must create different systems. So here is your call to action. Today, I respectfully urge continued and expanded commitment to funding for early detection programs, support for culturally responsive education initiatives, ensuring coverage that eliminate cost as a barrier, community health workers' investment, data collection to monitor disparity, and public awareness campaign targeting high-risk population. No man in Massachusetts should die from a disease that is detectable and treated when caught early. As a nurse, I have seen the difference early detection makes. As a community leader, I have seen the consequence when screening is delayed. As a founder, I have seen what happens when trust is built and information is accessible. Screening is not weakness. Screening is leadership. Screening is love for our families. Screening is protection. Let today not simply be another awareness event or celebration. Let it be a commitment to equity, a commitment to creating access, a commitment to trust, a commitment to life. Because early action, early detection, early intervention saves lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lova. Our next speaker, just like Lova, is a long-term partner, Mark Heimovitz, Massachusetts Director for Government Relations for American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network.
ACSCAN has been proud to partner with the AdMeTech Foundation for many years. The work that the foundation does through research, medical education, public awareness, and advocacy is saving lives throughout the Commonwealth. And the advancements made by the AdMeTech Foundation's accomplishments are a model to be replicated across the country and around the world. We've heard the statistics, so I won't repeat them. But I will reiterate that the disparities in prostate cancer mortality are unacceptable. Black men in the U.S. have among the highest documented prostate cancer incidences in the world. The need to help reduce these disparities is what drives ACSCAN's and the AdMeTech Foundation's work. And of course, leading the AdMeTech Foundation is the amazing Dr. Faye Stern. Anyone who meets Dr. Stern is quickly blown away by her passion, her commitment, and urgency to reducing the incidence of and mortality rate from prostate cancer. That has been Dr. Stern's goal for so many years, and her work has changed the way we talk about and treat prostate cancer. For me personally, it's been a privilege to be able to work with Dr. Stern. I've learned so much from her, and her energy is contagious. That is why today's event has such an impressive list of leaders in medicine, academia, research, government, and more. It's because of the landmark work Dr. Stern and her team at the AdMeTech Foundation have done. So thank you, Dr. Stern, for the work that you and your team does, and thank you for inviting me here to speak today.
Next, we have a message from our event sponsors.
Lantheus is the leading radiopharmaceutical-focused company dedicated to our purpose to find, fight, and follow disease to deliver better patient outcomes. Knowing someone's health is in our hands inspires everything we do. It's why we remain deeply committed to innovating the next generation of radiodiagnostic solutions for patients. With prostate cancer being the second most common cancer affecting men in the U.S., early and accurate detection has never been more important for making informed treatment decisions. As a trusted partner serving the prostate cancer community for more than 5 years, we look forward to supporting clinicians with reliable radiodiagnostic solutions that help guide patient care. As a sponsor of the AdMeTech 17th Annual Prostate Cancer Awareness Event, we're honored to stand alongside this community in raising awareness and supporting progress for patients and families.
At Blue Earth Diagnostics, we're dedicated to transforming prostate cancer care with patients at the heart of everything we do. We go beyond technology, partnering with advocacy groups, physicians, and communities to ensure every patient has access to the care and support they need. Through cutting-edge molecular imaging, we're empowering doctors with better tools to make informed decisions. But it's not just about innovation, it's about real people. By advocating for patients, we're driving change and making a lasting impact. At Blue Earth Diagnostics, every patient's journey matters. Blue Earth Diagnostics, empowering the evolution of care for patients with cancer.
I'd like to open a formal program of our event, and our first keynote speaker is Senate President Karen Spilka.
Hello, I'm Massachusetts Senate President Karen Spilka. It's a real pleasure to join you virtually this morning for Prostate Cancer Awareness Day. Thank you so much to the AdMeTech Foundation, the Prostate Cancer Action Council, and the entire organizing committee for putting together this annual event. It's so important that we come together today to reaffirm our commitment to combating prostate cancer, whether it be through education, research, awareness, or advocacy. Years ago, my fellow senators and our colleagues in the House came together as the first legislative body in the nation to recognize prostate cancer as a persistent and often silent health battle. That recognition paved the way for meaningful progress in policies that prioritize awareness, research, and prevention for men across the Commonwealth. 17 years later, the AdMeTech Foundation continues to be a crucial partner in that work. And I thank you for being on the front lines of this fight, along with so many other Massachusetts organizations here today. The facts are clear. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during their lifetime. 1 in 44 men will die of prostate cancer. And Black men are 2.5 times more likely to die of prostate cancer, emphasizing the real importance of tackling this issue equitably. But we know that early detection, strong research, and equitable access saves lives. I promise you that in the Senate and in the legislature, we will continue to stand alongside you in this fight to save the lives of brothers, husbands, grandfathers, and sons across our Commonwealth and beyond. Thank you so much for your work.
I have the honor next to introduce Speaker of the House, Ronald Mariano.
Hi, everyone. This is House Speaker Ron Mariano. I want to thank the entire team of AdMeTech Foundation for putting this event together for the 17th Annual Prostate Cancer Awareness Day. During the early part of my speakership, So much of the work that we did in the House was about recognizing the disproportionate impact that the pandemic had on our society so that we could build back stronger than ever. Due to the many underlying racial inequities that exist throughout our society, we have worked hard to ensure that our recovery efforts are carried out fairly. Unfortunately, many of these same inequities that can also be found in the fight against prostate cancer. Thousands of men in Massachusetts will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in 2026. And Black and Latino men are 2.5 times more likely to die from prostate cancer than white men. Because of these troubling statistics, I am grateful for the work that AdMeTech does. Over the years, the legislature has allocated millions of dollars towards funding for prostate cancer awareness, education, and research. Through your advocacy work, AdMeTech recognizes that the way to make progress on this issue is to detect and treat prostate cancer early on. Specifically, the work that AdMeTech does to spread awareness about those who are more likely to develop prostate cancer is absolutely critical. While we can all do our part by talking with our doctor about getting screened for prostate cancer, the House will continue to do its part by legislating with the racial and health disparities in mind. I know that the House is committed to working with partners like AdMeTech to do our part in helping to spread awareness and to curtail the damage done by prostate cancer. So with that, I want to once again thank you for including me in this discussion. I am grateful for the work being done by so many of you and look forward to our continued partnership. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker Mariana. I would like to introduce hosts of this event, Senator Pavel Payano, Representative Sean Garbalay, Rob Consalva, and Bud Williams. Thomas?
First, I'm going to introduce Representative Bud Williams, Chair of the Joint Committee on Racial Equity, Civil Rights, and Inclusion, and a past chair of the Black and Latino Caucus. Also, I do want to mention that Representative Williams is a longstanding partner in Hampden County for our cause. Representative Williams.
First of all, I want to thank the team, Dr. Stern, Thomas, and all those at AdMeTech for the amazing work that you do. It doesn't go unnoticed. And just on a personal note, I've made several referrals to Dr. Stern and her staff, and they have engaged Black and brown men and made their life a lot better by getting them the treatment that they need. That's on a personal note. So Dr. Stern, thank you. And I have not missed one since I've been on Beacon Hill. And you're just an amazing CEO, amazing leader. So thank you so much. I would like to thank AdMeTech Foundation for inviting me to be a part of this amazing event. At the same event in 2011, 14 years ago, our state legislature has set up a historical precedent by recognizing prostate cancer as a public health priority in all men and leading healthcare disparity in Black men. My district is located in Springfield, Massachusetts, Hampden County, where prostate cancer in Black and Hispanic men have been at the top of the state's charts for more than 5 years. In our state, as it's been said, Black men are twice as likely to die of prostate cancer compared to white men. Recognizing that early detection and public awareness are the great equalizers, the AdMeTech Foundation has been working with my office, Men of Color, MOCA, Urban League of Springfield, Springfield NAACP, Springfield Partners, Black COVID Coalition, St. John's Church, Mount Calvary Church, and many other organizations. My constituents have been directly benefited from high-quality care offered by AdMeTech's Prostate Cancer Equity Resource Project. It is my pleasure and honor at this time to present a proclamation from Governor Healy, I will read the proclamation. We want to thank the governor for her attention. And also, I want to thank President Spilka and House Chair Ron Moriano, Speaker, for making sure that budget of the prostate cancer budget is always in line. That's so amazing. Whereas prostate cancer is the most common major malignancy in men, affecting 1 in 8 American men during their lifetime, and is the second leading cause of cancer death for men in Massachusetts. And whereas inequities in prostate cancer's mortality continue to exist, with Black non-Hispanic men being almost 2 times more likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer than white men, non-Hispanic men, and the prostate cancer mortality rate among Black men and non-Hispanic men being more than double that of white men, non-Hispanic men. Whereas Massachusetts commends the state's medical experts, advocacy, and grassroots organizations for their continued leadership in creating and expanding a new model of national and global leadership in prostate cancer awareness, education, and research. And whereas the leadership makes possible cutting-edge, evidence-based strategies for precision screening, diagnosis, and treatment for the world-leading hospitals of all men in our state as we work collectively to end healthcare disparities. Now, therefore, I, Maura T. Healy, Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, do hereby proclaim March 24, 2026 to be Prostate Cancer Awareness Day, and urge all residents of the Commonwealth to take due notice and govern yourselves accordingly. Given this executive branch in Boston, 24th of March in the year 2026, signed by Maura T. Healy, Governor, Kim Driscoll, Lieutenant Governor, and William Galvin, Secretary of State. God save the Commonwealth. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Representative Williams. Thank you for your partnership. I would like to introduce other 2 hosts of this event, Representative Sean Garbalay, Chair, Joint Committee on Tourism, Arts, and Cultural Development, and Representative Rob Consalo, Vice Chair, House Committee on Rules.
Early detection matters, and I think that is the theme of today. And I'm thrilled to join my incredible colleague, Representative Consalvo and Chair Williams, to present a resolution from the legislature. And so on behalf of Representative Consalvo, I think he's going to let me read the entire thing, unless if he wants to get in, I'm sure would love to hear from him as well. But we are here to commend the AdMeTech Foundation on recognizing the 17th Annual Prostate Cancer Awareness Day on March 24th, 2026. Whereas the AdMeTech Foundation will recognize the 17th Annual Prostate Cancer Awareness Day on March 24th, 2026. And whereas prostate cancer is a public health crisis and a central issue in men's health, representing a leading healthcare disparity in the Commonwealth, with Black, Hispanic, and Latino men facing a higher risk of the disease due in part to later diagnosis and unequal access to affordable, high-quality health care. And whereas, according to the American Cancer Society, nearly 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during their lifetime, making it the most common cancer and the second leading cause of cancer related to death among men. And whereas early detection of prostate cancer is critical to save lives, and research on the advancement of novel precision approaches to screening, diagnosis, and treatment are essential for individualized, high-quality patient care and can lead to millions of dollars a year in healthcare cost savings in the Commonwealth. And whereas the AdMeTech Foundation has established a Prostate Cancer Action Council, which includes the Inequities and Disparities, Community Health Awareness Network, Grows Equity, Latino Health Insurance Program, Massachusetts Prostate Cancer Coalition, Inc., Men of Color Health Awareness, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People and New England Area Conference, and the Independent Blue Ribbon expert panel representing leading hospitals and experts to create a new model of national and global leadership in improving patient care and health equity by integrating research with medical education and public awareness. Therefore, be it resolved that the Massachusetts General Court hereby commends the AdMeTech Foundation for recognizing the 17th Annual Prostate Cancer Awareness Day on March 24th, 2026, and extends its sincerest appreciation to the AdMeTech Foundation for the continuous dedication to saving lives, improving the standard of care, and ending prostate cancer as a public health crisis and a leading health disparity. And be it further resolved that a copy of these resolutions be forwarded by the Clerk of the House of Representatives to the President of the AdMeTech Foundation, signed by Ronald Mariano, Speaker of the House, Timothy Carroll, Clerk of the House, Karen E. Spilka, President of the Senate, Michael D. Hurley, Clerk of the Senate, myself, Senator Michael Rush, Representative Rob Consalvo, Representative Bud Williams, Senator Pavel Payano, and Senator Bruce Tarr. Thank you, AdMeTech.
Thank you so much, Ron.
Thank you, Dr. Stern, so much for having me here today. Thanks to my colleagues. Great job reading that. I knew he could do that job well, so that's why I asked him to do it. But no, I want to thank all my colleagues who are on the call, the staff, and everybody. This is just one of the most important issues. It's one of the most important healthcare issues. It's one of the most important issues as we work on healthcare issues facing the Commonwealth. I've been proud to work with Dr. Stern since my time as a Boston City Councilor back in the 2000s on these issues. And this is something that's going to continue to be a priority for me. I know the great work my colleagues do in the budget on this issue. I look forward to continuing to support that. And I've been proud to, since my time in the legislature now, almost 6 years, to help co-host this day and beyond this resolution. So important every single day. And I look forward to continuing to work together collaboratively to make sure that we're doing everything we can, both from a legislative end, a financial end. They say a budget is a statement of one's priorities. So working together on the budget on healthcare and on this issue, happy and proud to be part of a small part of this team that's working on this issue every day.
It's my pleasure to introduce Senate Majority Leader Cynthia Cream, a longtime champion of the prostate cancer program in Massachusetts.
It's a pleasure to join you today for the 17th Annual Prostate Cancer Awareness Day. Thank you, Dr. Stern, for inviting me and for your tireless efforts to make prostate cancer a public health priority. The AdMeTech Foundation has been a leader in every facet of improving prostate cancer care in Massachusetts and around the world. Its research has dramatically improved diagnostic and therapeutic tools. Its educational programming teaches thousands of providers about best practices for prostate cancer care, and its outreach efforts target communities with the highest rate of prostate cancer mortality, increasing awareness and improving access to care. Thanks to this comprehensive approach to prostate cancer care, the AdMeTech Foundation is saving countless lives every year, and with all of our support, it will continue to save lives. I'm so proud to support the Foundation's work, and I'm in awe of all that it has accomplished. Thank you again for inviting me to join you today.
I just was informed that Senator Payano just joined us. Senator Payano?
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak here today. I'm really excited to once again be part of this convening. It's really meaningful to be with so many outstanding leaders, advocates, survivors that are working to change the way we approach prostate cancer here in Massachusetts. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Pavel Payano. I have the distinct honor privilege, responsibility representing the 1st Essex District, which comprises Haverhill, Lawrence, and Methuen in the state Senate. These are communities that are filled with strength, resilience, and an unwavering sense of family. For too long, our families have carried the weight of unequal access to health care. Prostate cancer is one of the areas where that inequality constantly shows up very clearly. Black, Hispanic, and Latino men face higher rates of diagnosis and death. It's not because we're less concerned about our health. It's often because we're left out of the systems that are meant to protect us. And it's why the work of AdMeTech Foundation and the Prostate Cancer Equity Program is so important. They're helping us move from words to action, from awareness to access, and making sure the most vulnerable communities are not treated as an afterthought. James Baldwin once said, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced." That is what we're doing here. We're facing this disease. We're facing the disparity. Prostate cancer is curable when detected early, yet a late diagnosis lowers the 5-year rate of survival to just 28%. This challenge is not one we are unprepared to handle. The solution lies in expanding access to diagnostic tools that AdMeTech seeks to provide. The path we need to take is clear. The only question is whether we have the will to walk it. That is why I'm committed to advancing health equity in our state through work both in policy and in my community that we know has the ability to save lives. We need to keep going. We need to talk openly about prostate cancer in our communities, at the dinner tables, at the barbershop, and at church. We need to remove the fear, the shame, and the silence that keep too many of our men from seeking care. And this is real. I mean, I was at the barbershop 4 days ago, and I was talking to someone that, maybe they had like 10 years on me. And the conversation about prostate cancer came out. And, we had hopefully it was a good conversation, and this individual is going to go back to his primary care doctor. But, unless that we receive proper education, folks are, would be unable to make good decisions about their care. And it's not just about their care, it's also about what happens to their family members if something goes wrong with them. It's about justice, it's about families, it's about making sure that every man, regardless of whether he lives, like where he lives or what language he speaks, has the opportunity to live a long and healthy life. I want to thank all of you for the work that you do and for allowing me to stand with you in this fight. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Payano. We greatly appreciate you participating in this event, especially over the last few years. Before we get to the next speaker, we do have a great team watching the audience out in Facebook and YouTube, which we are live right now. I do want to thank the team that is looking behind the scenes and texting me, people that are on watching the comments and making sure. So we have a few people watching. I want to thank Representative Wynn and Representative Ash for being on, and also staffers from the offices of Representative Sabato, Representative Chan, Senator Sear, and Senator Lovely's office, Rep Owen's office as well. We thank you, as always, for participating in Prostate Cancer Awareness Day and being longstanding partners in the legislature. Next speaker is another longstanding partner and a strong advocate in the Senate. I want to introduce Senate Majority Whip Michael Rush.
Hello, this is State Senator Mike Rush of the Norfolk and Suffolk District. Happy to be here once again for the 17th Annual Prostate Cancer Awareness event. I'd particularly like to thank Dr. Stern and the AdMeTech Foundation for including me in today's program and for being a global leader in the fight against prostate cancer. As we know, prostate cancer accounts for 1/8 of all new cancers diagnosed in men and is a leading cause of cancer death among men. It is also treatable when caught early. Unfortunately, this doesn't happen as much as it should. The fight against prostate cancer is a racial justice issue. Black men are 73% more likely to develop prostate cancer than the general population. It is a veterans issue, as veterans are nearly twice as likely to develop prostate cancer as the general population. These are communities which have historically been underserved by the medical fields, in which the Commonwealth has time and time again committed to addressing the inequities in their care. There is hope in the fight. Through events like this and through programs like those championed by AdMeTech Foundation, we are slowly but surely raising awareness and expanding access to those who need it the most. Once again, I'd like to thank the team at AdMeTech and Dr. Stern for their advocacy as well as all of you joining us today for your contribution in the fight against prostate cancer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator Rush. Our next speaker is Senator John Keenan, who is Chair, Joint Committee on Election Laws. Senator Keenan is also a prostate cancer survivor.
I am State Senator John Keenan. I wish I could be there with all of you, but because of other engagements, I'm not able to share the time with you. But I just wanted to send a quick message. About 5 years ago, I went for my annual physical, and as a result of having the blood work done, the doctor called me and said, "I'd like to have you come back in for some additional blood work." I did that, and then the doctor told me that my PSA levels were elevated. I didn't know exactly what that meant. He did not use the word cancer, but he did say that he wanted to move me through the next stages of screening and detection. So I did all of that, and ultimately I did receive the diagnosis of prostate cancer. The doctor said that, your levels weren't real high, but given the way that they had climbed rather quickly, we think we should begin treatment, and they gave me the different treatment options. Surgery seemed to be the best option. However, it was during COVID, so it wasn't certain I'd have access to that option, but given the circumstances, they were able to do the surgery. So I say it's 5 years later now, and I am cancer-free. And I look back and think how important it was to have that annual physical, to have that screening, to have a physician who looked at the numbers and who recognized that something was going on and moved me through the various stages of detection and then ultimately treatment. Cancer, prostate cancer, is curable when it's detected early. My father died, he was rather elderly at the time, but he died officially of prostate cancer. And we knew, looking back, that there were signs of that. He had prostate cancer, no doubt, for quite a long time, and it had spread, metastasized throughout his body, ultimately to the point where it was the cause of his death. Knowing that, I am particularly thankful that I had access to the screening that I did. If you have that sense, it's important to share that information with your physician. Early testing, screening, early diagnosis, treatment, prostate cancer is curable. So I urge everybody to take advantage of those screening processes that are available. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Keating, for your strong message, and we greatly appreciate your support over the years on this issue. Next, I want to introduce Representative Carlos Gonzalez, 3rd Division Chair. Representative.
Thank you to all those who made this possible. Prostate Cancer Awareness Day, the second leading cause of death in men in the United States. A special shout out to Dr. Faina Stern, who for so many years has championed this day, as well as providing the information and the resources for so many men across the state of Massachusetts. Thank you also to Springfield, Latino Health Insurance Program, Men of Color and Health Awareness, Urban League, Springfield NAACP, Black churches, and other organizations like MOCA who have championed this issue to provide the appropriate information on the issues that impact men across this state. Their awareness and community education campaign has reached over 20,000 individuals across the state of Massachusetts in January 2025. In Springfield, we salute them and congratulate them. We know you're going to get some experts here today providing some further updates and data that demonstrates the impact and the need to go get tested. So men, if you're not going to do it for you, do it for your wives. If you're not going to do it for your wives, do it for your children. A family is the most important part of your life, and you belong here. Go get tested, and thank you to all those who made this possible, and let's make sure that we can rid ourselves of cancer, particularly men, prostate cancer. Thank you.
So much, Leader Gonzalez. Our next speaker is Representative Marjorie Decker, Chair, Joint Committee on Public Health.
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry that I can't be here with you live. This is a gathering I look forward to every year. But more importantly, I want to just thank you for your partnership and for your collaboration and the work that you're doing 365 days a year to ensure that we are not only educating people about prostate cancer, but we're actually investing in the research and the innovation for treatment and care. As you know, because you're on this call, you know that 30% of the men who are diagnosed with cancer have prostate cancer. We know that men of color are disproportionately impacted by prostate cancer. It's found later and it's more aggressive by the time it's found. Now, the nature of prostate cancer is not unique to men of color. It is embedded in what is systemic racism, or quite honestly, as you've heard me say, white supremacy. White supremacy is when we are not centering everyone else in the kind of research, treatment, and access to care. We know that in general, people of color are not believed when they talk about their health, their pain. And so it becomes even more important that one of the ways to counter systemic racism in all of our institutions, but certainly in our healthcare institution, is to invest in research, to invest in innovation, and to work with groups like AdMeTech, who have a foundation that specifically focus on looking at health equity and health outcomes. So I just want to say thank you to Dr. Stern. Thank you for all of the incredible advocacy and the work that you do. I know that there's a lot of patients and there's a lot of survivors who are doing this work with you and beside you. Thank you to everybody who is taking the time to reach out to your state rep and your state senator, sharing your story and talking about if we really want to reduce cancer and we want to reduce prostate cancer and we want to catch it early, prevention and screening is really key. Investing in communities that we know are under-resourced and unfortunately overrepresented in the statistics is the way to go. So thank you for all of your work, and I will continue pushing this and making this, as always, one of my budget priorities. And I look forward to continuing this work with you, and I will hopefully be with you in person or on the next Zoom Live next time.
Thank you, Representative Decker, for your words and for the years of support on this issue. And I do want to thank the team, the staffers at Rep. Decker's office. I know that they did commented on one of the live streams, and we want to thank you as well. She has a tremendous team as well.
Initiate our section on prostate cancer equity resource project mentioned by several people already. If you can please start my video. Dr. Mitchell Sokolov of UMass, Frank Leskas of Blue Earth Diagnostics, and Dr. David Einstein of Beth Israel Lehi will describe recent advances in clinical care and research. The focus of my talk is on the Prostate Cancer Equity Resource Project, launched several years ago to bring these advances in patient care to every man in Massachusetts and eliminate health disparities. Prostate Cancer Resource Project is an integral part of the AdMeTech's ongoing statewide program in prostate cancer that created a Massachusetts model of national and global leadership in public awareness, medical education and research, and clinical care equity. We are grateful to Governor Healy, President Spilka, Speaker Mariano, and many other Massachusetts legislators who made this program possible. Our primary focus is on high-risk men, Black, Hispanic, and Latino individuals, and all men with family history of prostate cancer and increasing age, 50 and older. This program was initiated since 2009 in collaboration with multiple organizations and has 4 components: public awareness and community education, prostate cancer equity resource in clinical care, medical education, and research. Our public awareness and community outreach is focused on the most vulnerable and underserved individuals. Since January 2025, we reached over 20,000 underprivileged individuals. Since 2019, our public awareness and education program reached well over 70,000 people. The centerpiece of our medical education is AdMeTech's annual Global Summit on Precision Diagnosis and Treatment of Prostate Cancer. The latest 9th annual conference took place in September last year. Over 400 physicians took part in this event from just about every corner of the globe. Our media partners published over 60 scientific presentations, reaching over 35,000 international clinicians. Our summit brings together the key international experts representing every clinical expertise to review the best emerging clinical practices and research priorities. Indeed, our summit has been recognized as a seminal event in shaping the state-of-the-art and future vision for patient care. It is difficult to find any corner of the world that has not been reached by this event. Our International Organizing Council, or IOSC, is chaired by Dr. Raja Kohli, a professor of urology at American University of Beirut in Lebanon, who worked with AdMeTech to bring together outstanding experts across the globe, particularly from the areas previously underrepresented in the summit, including Central and South America, Middle East and Africa, and Eastern and Southern Europe. This rapidly expanded physician participation beyond the previously active regions, such as Australia, Western and Northern Europe, and North Africa. In 2025, we created executive leadership team. Drs. Carlos Buchpigel of Brazil, Usama Al-Naziri of Iraq, Raluca Mitilelo of Romania, Ahmed Morsi of Egypt, Beni Rabah of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed Shahed, UAE, Jordan, and USA, Arnulf Stenzels of Germany, Steve Zapala of United States, and Stenio Di Casio-Zecchi of Brazil. Members of the IOSC's regional council include Dr. Saad Al-Dazari, Kuwait, Murtada Al-Muzaffar and Shaki Ghazala, Iraq, Akram Al-Abrahim, Jordan, Khalid Al-Othman, Saudi Arabia, Khalid Al-Rumeihi, Qatar, Deria Balbey, Yüksel Yurun, and Ozgan Yildiz, Turkey, Rajid Al-Khoury, Lebanon, Rabil Redwain, Morocco, and KH Ra, South Korea. In our research, based on the summit recommendations, we focused on image-guided, minimally invasive treatment of prostate cancer. These procedures are called male lumpectomy to draw a parallel with minimally invasive treatment of breast cancer that has been available to women over 25 years and replaced radical mastectomy. Accurate imaging, including MRI, makes it possible to identify and remove prostate cancer focus while sparing surrounding normal tissues. This is in sharp contrast to radical surgery when the entire prostate is removed. Male lumpectomy can be performed in ambulatory clinics with reduced complications, discomfort, and costs compared to radical surgery. And yet, over the last several years, our summit showed that male lumpectomy has remained experimental for more than 25 years. At the same time, when breast lumpectomy became a new standard of care. 3 years ago, in 2023, based on the summit recommendations, we established international working group to accelerate transfer of male lumpectomy from laboratories to patients. In 2024, we designed a research study to accelerate clinical evaluation and implementation of male lumpectomy. The study was initiated in 2025. In Massachusetts, at least 25% of men newly diagnosed with prostate cancer each year will benefit from access to male lumpectomy with significantly improved quality of life. Expected savings are estimated to be at least $40 million in procedural costs and additional $40 million in hospitalization costs. Since 2021, our summit highlighted that equal access to high-quality care is the key factor in improving patient outcomes for all men and eliminating health disparities in Black men. It is particularly important now with so many novel diagnostic and therapeutic approaches, ensuring high-quality, personalized, precision patient care. Without equal access to these advances in patient care, we will see a widening gap in health inequalities, including survival and mortality. Consequently, in 2022, AdMeTech launched Prostate Cancer Equity Resource Project in Massachusetts in collaboration with Mass General Brigham and UMass, with the mission to save lives and deliver high-quality care for all. More recently, experts at the Beth Israel Lehi joined this effort. Supporting organizations include Latino Health Insurance Program and multiple NACP branches located across the state. Any Massachusetts man age 40 and older can take part in this program. Our priority focus is on Black, Hispanic, and Latino men who are at higher risk of prostate cancer, delayed diagnosis, poor quality care, and death. Our goal is to expedite access to leading experts who use the most advanced approaches to screening, diagnosis, and treatment available today, and to support men every step of their prostate health journey. This program helps men to find an expert for initial or a second opinion, in person or virtual visits. We strongly believe that our prostate cancer equity resource, integrated with our large-scale public awareness campaign, has been placing Massachusetts in a strong position to become the first state in our country to eliminate health disparities. Experts of the Prostate Cancer Equity Program can address any question about prostate health, from assessing an individual healthy man's personal risk of cancer to informing men about all available options before and after screening, biopsy, and treatment. We are committed to supporting men during every step of their prostate health journey to ensure that no man is left behind or struggling alone. To achieve this goal, we created a streamlined process of patient referral and care. This process assures that every man who comes to our program is taken care of in the way our AdMeTech team and doctors would like to take care of our families and friends. I'd like to provide a recent example of how Equity Resource Project has been making a difference. About 1 month ago, Representative Russell Holmes expressed concern about Richard, a 63-year-old man in his district who was recently diagnosed with prostate cancer but was unhappy about his care. On February 27th, Richard contacted AdMeTech. He was concerned that he was offered invasive radical surgery with all the related complications and no clear information about other possible treatment options. We referred him to Dr. Adam Keibel, chairman of urology at the Brigham and Women's Hospital, and Dana Farber, Harvard Medical School. On March 4, Richard contacted AdMeTech to explain that a letter from his primary care physician was required prior to his visit at the Brigham, but he was not sure how to obtain it. We guided him through the next steps. On March 18, Richard saw Dr. Keibel, who reviewed all his clinical testing with other experts at the Brigham and Dana Farber, and explained all the available options. Based on this information, Richard became clear about his options. He chose active surveillance non-invasive clinical observation instead of radical surgery. Dr. Keibel supported his decision. Richard expressed trust and confidence in Dr. Keibel and chose him for his future clinical care. Emma Coyer serves as a manager of the Prostate Cancer Equity Resource Project. Emma is assisted by Erin Roberts, program coordinator, Craig McClay, patient educator, and other members of the AdMeTech Foundation's team. When you come to us, Emma will work with you, our team, Mass General Brigham, UMass, Beth Israel, and other clinical partners to expedite medical visits and address any needs you may have. Together, we empower each man to make informed choices that are right for him before and after screening, biopsy, and treatment. If you have any questions about our program or need assistance, please contact Emma by phone 617-523-3535 or by email coordinator@admetechfoundation.org. I was informed that we just were joined by Representative Giannino, who is Vice Chair, Joint Committee on Economic Development and Emerging Technologies. Representative Giannino, please.
I will say to everyone watching from home and to everyone on this call, this is one of my favorite Zooms that we do every year because it is so important. It's so meaningful to our districts, and it's so meaningful to me personally. And before I get into, some of the things I'm so grateful for the AdMeTech Foundation for the work that they do, I just want to share with you my personal story. I grew up with a single dad and my grandparents, and living with my grandparents, both of them battled cancer the majority of my life. My grandmother received her first breast cancer diagnosis in 2000. She's now 85 years old, and she's a 5-time breast cancer survivor. She's beat 5 different aggressive strains of breast cancer. When my grandfather received his prostate cancer diagnosis, it was something that almost became routine in my family. We knew how to handle the situation because my grandmother had become our family's patient navigator in dealing with prostate cancer and cancer in general. First and foremost, I'm so happy we live in Massachusetts, and growing up in Revere and representing the city of Revere, we are 5 miles north of the city of Boston. So both of them received the best care from some of the best doctors in the world at the Dana and the Brigham. So I'm so, so grateful from the bottom of my heart for their teams. Because of that, we had my grandfather for as many years as we did. He ultimately lost his battle to prostate cancer in 2017, but he fought, and he had incredible physicians and had incredible doctors and teams and treatments. And there was always another medication. There was always another research, another trial, another option for him. And so many people don't have that opportunity. So our family will forever be grateful for that. When I first met Dr. Stern and the AdMeTech Foundation, I was so grateful for the work that they were doing to know how they could reach people and help share something that I've been spreading for a long time, and that's preach early detection. And for the women, you think about women and prostate cancer, you would think it's something that we aren't interested in, but it is so important as a woman in a family to be on the men in your life to get checked, to be on their doctor about their PSA levels, to follow up on your primary care, to follow up on your routine care. So many people through COVID postponed routine medical visits. And when you postpone those medical visits, we've gotten that habit and started postponing things. We can't do that. So it's my job in my house, along with my grandmother, to kind of prod the men in our family, especially if you have a family history. If you have women in your family that have breast cancer, get screened early. If you have men in your family that have prostate cancer, that early detection, early screening, knowing your PSA, knowing what questions to ask your doctor is critical. So I'm so grateful that the AdMeTech Foundation is a resource not only in prevention and education, but also when you get that diagnosis. Not every family like mine has been dealing with cancer diagnoses for 25 years. And no matter how many times you've heard it, it is the worst news you will ever hear. So having a support system and having resources is something that makes the outcome of this disease better. So Dr. Stern, thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you for the AdMeTech Foundation. I'm so, so grateful for everything you do in our community. I look forward to learning more. As always, you put together a phenomenal panel of my colleagues and professionals in the field. So to all the doctors and researchers on here, thank you for what you do. You give so many people hope, time with their families, and quality of life that without you would not be possible. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Representative Giannina. Thank you for your long-term partnershp and supporting public awareness in prostate cancer in your community. Our next speaker is Al Hubert, member, Men of Color Health Awareness, MOCA, and Al is also a prostate cancer survivor who came to us for help from Prostate Cancer Equity Resource Project, and he will share his experience.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brother Al from the Men of Color Health Awareness here in the greater Springfield community. We are so grateful and humbled to be able to bring education and awareness to the Prostate Cancer Awareness Day, the 17th year of AdMeTech, educating the Commonwealth as a whole about a leading health disparity, which is prostate cancer. We know that 1 in 9 men in America will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. And African-American men and Latino men fit in that category. And it's so important to get information and to know your risks and to know what benefits are. I'm going to talk about some of the benefits, which I know for a fact, when we educated our community, men were more likely to benefit from screening and early detection and treatment if they are at a higher risk or of aggressive prostate cancer. And we know that men can benefit from screening. And that is so important, understanding that you can early detection save lives. What are some of the risks for screening? We know that there are biopsy treatment, there is a digital rectum exam that goes on, and we want people to understand, we want men to understand the importance of going to the doctor. I know for a fact that the take-home message that we want to deliver is that if you're at high risk of aggressive prostate cancer, you are more likely to benefit from screening and early detection. When cure is possible, you and your life can be saved. And that's what AdMeTech has done. And I think that is so important that we educate our community across the Commonwealth about this silent killer, and especially in the African-American and Latino community. What can we do? We talk to our doctors. We need to ask our doctors questions. What are the high risks? They can share decision-making. Talk to your family, because it's very important to have support. We know as we go to the doctor, we don't like having conversation with doctors because we don't trust doctors. But the most important thing is to have a family member with you to get a clear understanding about the importance of prostate cancer and the exam and how quiet it is, a silent killer. And we know that this is important. We also understand that sometimes we don't have insurance. And the AdMeTech program has an equity program which saving lives and delivering high quality care for all. I have experienced personally this equity program because I am also a prostate cancer survivor. And I've been talking about prostate cancer in our community for about 5 years. And in that process of the 5 years, I have been also watching my numbers climb at a slow pace. But I had a great doctor, great physician, Dr. Sokoloff. He was a very honest, open, and clear information that he gave me confidence that I was able to follow through. And I think that was so important, that he didn't push me, he didn't demand it. He was passionate, he was kind, and he was gentle about telling me about prostate cancer and how it was affecting my life. So I just want to say, having a doctor is very important and something that will support men in every area or every step of their medical journey is so important. And this is why an equity program like AdMeTech is so important, because they have doctors who are on point. And that's what we need nowadays. Men do not want doctors to be demanding and pushy, because we know that the medical system as African American and Latino men can't trust the doctors. But with us, MOCA, in the community, educating for about at least 10 years about prostate cancer has been beneficial to the community, where men have come to our office and asked questions. Also, just being in the community and being at local centers, faith-based community, we have educated or brought some awareness that this is something you need to look into. And we tell them about the signs. I just want to say thank you for allowing me in the Men of Color Health Awareness called MOCA to be in the seat, to be at the table for the 17th Annual Prostate Cancer Awareness Day. Thank you.
Before we get to our next speaker, we have some more people that I just want to acknowledge. And thank you, Brother Al, for a strong message on that. We appreciate your partnership for many years as well, and MOCA's partnership for many years. I do want to mention a couple of people that commented on the streams. We have the office of Representative Fluker Reed. The comment, thank you for attending. Also, Representative Phillips as well. Thank you also for attending. And then we have a message from the office of the late Anne Margaret Ferrante. The message says that she was a fierce advocate for cancer awareness, the science needed to fight it, and the equity for all to receive it. We greatly appreciate that message from a fierce fighter and a true advocate in the House as well. So we appreciate that message as well, that heartfelt message. Next, I want to introduce a strong partner as well, Dr. Mitchell Sokoloff, Professor and Chairman of Urology, University of Massachusetts Medical School, and he's going to be talking about the emerging advances in screening and diagnosis. Dr. Sokoloff.
Good morning. I'm Mitchell Sokoloff, Professor and Chair of Urology at UMass Chan Medical School and UMass Memorial Health. It is a pleasure to participate in this year's Prostate Cancer Awareness Day and review advances in prostate cancer screening, diagnosis, and treatment. Prostate cancer sits at the center of one of the most profound transformations in modern oncology. We are entering an era defined by precision. Advances in biomarkers, imaging, and genomics are allowing for a far more nuanced understanding of risk. Screening is no longer simply about detecting cancer. It's about identifying clinically significant disease while safely avoiding unnecessary intervention. Equally important are the advances in management. Innovations in new technology and advances in traditional therapies and precise surgical approaches are allowing us to tailor treatment intensity to disease biology to a degree that was previously unattainable. Taken together, these developments signal a shift not only in technology but in philosophy. The goal is no longer simply to find and eradicate prostate cancer. It is to intelligently optimize oncologic outcome while minimizing harm, aligning treatment decisions with the individual patient's risks, values, and life expectancy. This slide represents the continuum in prostate cancer, highlighting the development and incorporation of smarter blood, urine, imaging, and genetic screening methodologies, precision diagnostics that result in improved and targeted biopsies, and innovations and advancements in treatments with the goal of optimizing oncologic outcomes while minimizing side effects. There is no doubt that screening for prostate cancer is an essential component of a man's health care. In the United States, prostate cancer remains the most common cancer in men and the second most deadly cancer among men. Of men diagnosed with prostate cancer, 40% will require treatment. Obviously, early diagnosis results in better outcomes. Prostate cancer screening has gotten smarter. We have improved detection of clinically significant cancer while reducing unnecessary biopsies. We have progressed from using just the PSA blood test by itself to using derivatives of PSA, using multivariate biomarkers such as 4K and PHI and even newer panels, using molecular and genetic markers in the blood and urine, the so-called liquid biopsy. These blood-based and urine-based biomarkers improve risk stratification compared to PSA alone. Modern screening pathways increasingly use polygenic risk scoring, which identifies which men should be screened and how aggressively. This integrated, no one test fits all pathway is the real revolution, and the biggest advance isn't a single test, it's how they're combined. This layer approach reduces unnecessary biopsy, improves detection of clinically significant disease, and minimizes overdiagnosis. Another advancement is the incorporation of precision diagnostics. MRI is a central component. PET imaging is also being used. Combined with artificial intelligence to best interpret imaging and pathology results, these diagnostics improve the detection of clinically significant disease and reduce overdiagnosis of low-risk prostate cancer. We have moved from the tradition of get a PSA and do a standard biopsy to a new norm, a new world where we use precision risk stratification, targeted imaging, and then selective biopsy. This is a fundamental shift, not just incremental improvement. There have also been quantum improvements in the approach to prostate cancer management. With advances in accurate and precision diagnosis and stratification, we can better identify those men who will benefit from treatment and provide them with the most appropriate treatment using a range of therapeutics from the least invasive to the most comprehensive. Active surveillance, focal therapy, surgery, and radiotherapy each have a specific and designated role in management. To reiterate, the goal is no longer simply to find and eradicate prostate cancer. It is to do so intelligently by maximizing oncologic outcomes while minimizing harm and aligning treatment decisions with an individual patient's risks, values, and life expectancy. The overarching trend in localized prostate cancer is individualization, matching the right treatment intensity to each man's tumor biology, age, health status, and quality of life priorities. The days of one treatment fits all has given way to a rich menu of options, from watchful waiting to high-tech radiation and high-tech robotic surgery. All of this increasingly guided by genomics, artificial intelligence, and advanced imaging. As you can see, these are truly exciting times we are advancing for the care of men with prostate cancer, and I am proud to practice in Massachusetts, which remains a leader nationally and internationally in the care of men with prostate cancer.
Thank you so much, Mitch, for your presentation. Mitch, I really am grateful to you and other physicians in our Prostate Cancer Equity Resource Project, including David Einstein, who will be presenting later, and Dr. Adam Keibel, Dr. Adam Feldman, who made it possible for us to provide such not only the best-in-class care to men who come to Prostate Cancer Equity Resource Project, but also to treat them with kindness, compassion, inspiring trust. There is a fundamental difference between what we see in our program vis-a-vis statewide data. At the state level, Black men, including Hispanic and Latino men, are 22% less likely to follow physician recommendation to have life-saving treatment. Even greater percentage of men, Black men, do not comply with recommendation to have biopsy for definitive diagnosis of cancer or not. We do not, thanks to physicians participating in our program, their incredible kindness, their incredible compassion, attention to their patients. We do not see this disparity in our program at all. Thank you again, Mitch, for taking great care of Al Hubert and many other people we refer to you. Frank Leskas, Vice President for Marketing, Blue Earth Diagnostics. He is also our sponsor, and he will talk about the impact of next generation imaging on prostate cancer management.
The evolution of the management of prostate cancer has changed dramatically over the last few decades. I can recall when my grandfather was first diagnosed with prostate cancer in the late 1980s, the PSA test was just then coming into use. And unfortunately, they had diagnosed him with metastatic prostate cancer, and he had died from the disease just 2 years later. The innovation of the PSA test, however, did save my uncle's life. He was diagnosed in the late 1990s with a rising PSA and was effectively treated back then. And I can happily say that after 27 years of living with prostate cancer, he is still living with prostate cancer. A lot has changed since then, and we think of the different treatments that have been available. But most importantly, in my world, I think about the imaging that's available. we look at patients' PSA values, and that tells a story, and their Gleason score tells a story, and the patient presentation with a physician tells a story. But the imaging kind of rounds that story out and provides critical information to the clinician and to you as to what the best treatment pathway forward is in managing your prostate cancer. In 2016, new PET radiopharmaceuticals were introduced into the market that were more specific to diagnosing prostate cancer. So in the past, we may have used strictly X-rays or bone scans or MRIs or CT scans. The innovation of PET radiopharmaceuticals for prostate cancer was a game changer and really provided a new way, a new picture of what's happening internally with the patient with prostate cancer. And why is this important? Because in some cases, depending on where the PSA level was, a physician may have treated a patient thinking the prostate cancer was still confined to the prostate or in the prostate bed region. However, after doing a prostate PET scan, they found out very quickly that the disease was spread outside of that area, which would have changed their management and would have provided with the patient potentially a better outcome from their treatment. So this is critically important. And I would say if you do have prostate cancer or recurrent prostate cancer, which is when prostate cancer comes back after initial treatment or subsequent treatment, that you need to get a prostate PET scan, next generation imaging, which will give a better picture of what's going on and allow you and your physician make a shared decision on the next steps in your prostate cancer journey. I can say recently, my brother being diagnosed with prostate cancer, next generation imaging and PET scanning really helped shape his treatment decisions, as well as he is now going through his journey and hopefully will achieve at least 27 years of survival like my uncle. These are exciting times in the development of new prostate cancer imaging techniques as well as therapeutics. And I encourage you to talk to your physician about what's best for you, and the imaging will help provide that context. Thank you.
Who've been leading transformation not only in imaging through molecular imaging of prostate cancer, but also through using radiopharmaceuticals for treatment. And it's been very exciting for us to see how radiopharmaceutical treatment targeting the same area that are seen by imaging with precision, how they were shown to have comparable cancer control outcomes at a fraction of complications and patient discomfort. Thank you for your work. Thomas?
Next, we're going to be introducing Dr. David Einstein, assistant professor, Harvard Medical School, attending a physician, Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, General Medical Oncology Program. And he will be talking about recent advancement in treatment of advanced prostate cancer. Dr. Einstein.
Hi, my name is David Einstein. I'm a medical oncologist at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center and Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. Today, I want to talk a little bit about a really novel approach to how we measure benefit for prostate cancer patients. So we're used to talking a lot about novel therapies and exciting new ways of treating cancer, but a really fundamental question is, how do we even know whether something is working? And so in this presentation, I'm going to talk about some work together with Meredith Regan, an excellent statistician here at Harvard and Dana-Farber. So fundamentally, we're trying to capture the experience that patients have as they go on and off of treatments that might have side effects that might linger after treatment, and really get a longitudinal sense of their journey. Importantly, sometimes in cancer care, there's more than one possible strategy. And so sometimes we have to weigh the trade-offs of these different types of strategies between treating now versus treating later, treating longer to try to delay something from happening in the future. There's all sorts of trade-offs that we confront on a daily basis. And traditionally, if a patient asks us, does something work, we have what we call traditional endpoints that are usually taken from trials done in patients with very advanced disease. So for example, we might look at something called progression-free survival. So does a given therapy delay the time until something happens, either a scan looks worse or a number rises or something like that. But the challenge here, when you look at patients with earlier stage disease, is that in general, if you keep patients on treatments, systemic therapies that go all over their body, that will always make this endpoint look better relative to shorter courses or less systemic therapy. It doesn't really help us when we're trying to confront the question of, do we give something now versus save it for later? Doesn't really help us understand so much to what extent benefits might last even off of treatment. Doesn't really give an incentive to get people off of treatment. And if people are on and off treatment, it's very hard to measure benefits in this way. There's also something called duration of response, where this actually says, of the people who respond, how long does that response tend to last? The problem is, when you're sitting with a patient in front of you, you don't know whether they're going to respond or not before you actually try a treatment. And so this is a little bit limited when you're trying to make that initial decision. When we think about toxicity side effect reporting in clinical trials, generally that's reported as kind of the worst thing that happened over the period of that trial. It doesn't necessarily add up all the time that somebody spent with a side effect, even a lower grade one. So something that was kind of annoying but happened for a really long time might be just as important or more important than one thing that happened that was severe for a moment but then resolved. I think particularly about patients of mine with prostate cancer with early recurrence. So their PSA is just starting to come back, or they've just started to start seeing things on a scan, like a PSMA PET scan. And there's really a lot of different strategies, a lot of confusion in this area about what the optimal approach should be. I've listed some of the options here, which I won't go through for time, but ultimately it's very hard for us to kind of weigh the trade-offs of all these different types of strategies and understand how much should we be really aggressive now versus should we hold off on things for later. So this is where the idea of treatment-free survival as a novel endpoint comes in. And this is something that Meredith Regan developed previously, really in the context of immunotherapy, and particular for kidney cancer and melanoma. And so this is a totally different strategy for trying to measure benefit. And this really is patient-centered. It's something that has been started to be discussed with regulatory agencies, patient advocates, and it really helps both at kind of academic and regulatory levels, as well as the very practical levels sitting in clinic. So this is just a schematic that Meredith has come up with, where traditionally we would graph out things along a line like this. Basically, as time goes on towards the right, patients might have something happen. In this case, we're graphing survival, meaning that every time this line goes down, it means that somebody died. We can also graph other things. So we can look at the time until patients come off of an initial treatment. We could look at the time until patient starts another treatment later on. And then we could actually looking at the area between these curves. So we could look at the time cumulatively that people spend on a treatment, the time that they spend off of treatment, treatment-free survival, the time that they spend on another later therapy. And then, of course, this is lost survival time due to these deaths that have happened in this particular instance. We can also start to subdivide these between time spent with and without side effects of treatment. And importantly, some of the side effects that happen while on treatment, shown here in light purple, they might actually last even when you're off treatment, shown in light blue. And so that's going to factor into these different disease states and how much time people spend in each one of them. And so we published a commentary about using this in the context of recurrent prostate cancer, using kind of a wait and watch strategy shown in blue versus an early intervention strategy shown in red. And ultimately, there's kind of a trade-off here where if you use the red strategy, you can delay the time until something appears on scan, but at the cost of a lot more time on treatment, shown here in red. And so fundamentally, this is a trade-off, and that's what we're trying to quantify. So why does this matter? Well, I think that how we measure success really affects, first and foremost, how we talk to patients in clinic, but also to move the field forward, this affects how we design trials, how regulatory agencies decide what to approve. And ultimately, I think that how we measure success should really depend on what matters to patients. And so that's why we started to develop these endpoints and really spend a lot of time engaging patients and advocacy groups on does this matter? In what circumstances does it matter? Where should we apply this? And trying to use the patient voice to then come to industry partners, regulatory agencies, to advocate for these novel strategies. So I hope you've stuck with me through some statistics and math, but I think this is really cool because this actually applies to all sorts of different novel treatments, regardless of what those treatments are. So I really thank you for your attention and wish you well.
Thank you, Dr. Einstein. We greatly appreciate your partnership for not only help with this, but other local community events over the last few years. So we really appreciate your presentation. Next, we have, I want to introduce Terry E. Carter, Medford inaugural Poet Laureate from 2021 to 2023 and a prostate cancer survivor.
Greetings to all who are here in this important gathering. Thanks to the folks at AdMeTech Foundation for including my voice in these proceedings. My name is Terry E. Carter. I'm a pastor, a father, a husband, a nonprofit program manager, a poet, an author, and yes, a prostate cancer survivor. I am entering my 6th year of being deemed cancer-free. Early detection and expert care combined to make my journey a comparatively uncomplicated one. Still, cancer has been an ominous presence in my life for the last 15 years. I've lost my mother, my father, and my baby brother to 3 different types of this dreaded disease. My father, in fact, survived prostate cancer only to be taken in 2014 by lung cancer and other health disorders. Telling my story, particularly through the prism of poetry, has helped me immensely in healing my spirit through all of this loss. A strong Christian faith is the other fuel that my continued healing requires. I would like to share a bit of poetry that merges these energies with you today. This piece is called Survivor's Guilt. It gets to me sometimes, as Marvin used to sing back in the day. Makes me want to holler, throw up both my hands. Lord God, you brought home Nana Jean, Pap, and baby boy. Sweat the oil of your countenance upon their malignancies and cancel the debt of suffering in their bodies. Yet I'm still out here on your word, missing them desperately every day and wondering what is left for me to do. Cancer came to my doorstep too, knocked me for a loop. It messed with my manhood and made me feel weaker than, less than, unequal to. The same monster that waited in the shadows and infiltrated their bodies as a fatal foreign host came for me too. But mercy said no. So this restlessness in my spirit rustles and rumbles and rages. It convicts me sometime, questions my raison d'etre, and moves me to a dark place where uncertainty and unworthiness hold court. Yet, I'm still out here on your word, trying hard not to curse my providence and wondering what is left for me to do. Through you, I survived. Jehovah Rapha prayers went up from everyone in my village, even though I couldn't be transparent enough to tell them exactly what to pray for. You knew, and you graciously accepted every petition. You still have work for me to do. You haven't finished with me yet. I'm still under construction. What in the world are you building? The weight of this survivor's guilt, will it erode my firm foundation? Am I the house that was built on sand and washed away? Like my brother Jesus, am I the stone the builder rejected? Do I believe? Does your word confirm or condemn? This is the path, walk ye in it. The steps of a righteous man are ordered. God is no respecter of persons, but to each one of us grace has been given as Christ apportioned it. So I keep on doing and living, praying and serving, watching and giving. Will it ever be enough? Nana Jean and Pap and baby boy paying attention from that expansive heavenly perch, can they see the weaker than, less than, and unequal to? Do they miss me desperately every day? this survivor's guilt. It gets to me sometimes. As Marvin sang back in the day, makes me want to holler, throw up both my hands. Thank you, and good morning.
Thank you so much, Terry, for your poetry. As usual, it's deeply moving to me. Our next speaker hardly needs any introduction, but here it is, Michael Curry, President and CEO, Massachusetts League of Community Health Centers. Michael Curry, please.
Hello, and thank you all for joining us in support of good health and longevity for men across the Commonwealth. Prostate cancer has a reputation for being a slow-growing disease with comparatively high survival rates. The idea reflects the tremendous progress we have made in early detection and treatment, but it ignores how much we have left to do. Prostate cancer is still one of the leading causes of cancer-related death for men in the United States. In recent years, it has become even more common and even more deadly. We must continue to raise awareness and push for initiatives that protect the health of our fathers, brothers, mentors, sons, and friends. In every conversation about prostate cancer, we must acknowledge its effects on Black men, because 1 in 6 Black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, and Black men are twice as likely to die from this disease as white men. Black men are not only more likely to die from prostate cancer, they are also the most likely to be diagnosed across every age group and stage. Once diagnosed, men with prostate cancer can experience difficulty urinating, unexplained bone pain, and other serious symptoms. Despite these staggering risks, they are less likely to be screened for or receive timely treatment after diagnosis. This has to change. Behind these statistics are real lives, men who are scared of dying and families who are terrified of losing loved ones. We must act with urgency to this crisis. It demands the work that's necessary to eliminate these glaring racial inequities. I urge you to make this a priority in your conversations today and in your work tomorrow. We must support initiatives that build trust with historically underserved communities and encourage patients to seek care. Health organizations should invest in community-based outreach and ensure clinicians communicate with cultural proficiency to help make early detection and treatment more accessible. I'm proud that community health centers are already doing this work. We provide cancer screening care and other preventative care services to all who walk through our doors, regardless of their ability to pay. Compassionate, culturally proficient care is central to our work because we hire from the communities we serve. We are the trusted provider for the most vulnerable communities in the Commonwealth, and we are committed to working with our partners to help eradicate prostate cancer. Thank you to AdMeTech Foundation for organizing this important conversation today. And thank you to all of you for showing up and doing the tireless, all-important work to advance health equity. Together, we can help millions of men live long, healthy lives.
Thank you, Michael Curry, for those strong words, and we appreciate your partnership for many, many years. Next, I want to introduce Rasan Hall, President and CEO of the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts. President Hall.
Hello, I'm Rasan Hall, President and CEO of the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts. I want to begin by expressing my deep appreciation to AdMeTech Foundation and its President and CEO, Dr. Stern, for the extraordinary leadership she has shown in the fight against prostate cancer. For nearly 2 decades, AdMeTech has helped lead a national effort to advance early detection, improve treatment, and raise awareness about the disease that continues to affect far too many families. We are honored to stand alongside them for the 17th Annual Prostate Cancer Awareness Day. At the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts, our partnership with AdMeTech reflects a shared commitment to addressing health disparities and making sure that communities of color have access to the information, screenings, and treatment options that can save lives. Prostate cancer remains one of the most significant health threats facing men today, and the disparities are stark. Black men are significantly more likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer and more than twice as likely to die from it compared to other groups. That reality demands urgency, awareness, and action. For me, this issue is also personal. I have seen firsthand how early screenings and advances in treatment have helped save the lives of men in my own life. Those experiences have deepened my understanding of just how critical early detection and access to quality care can be. Too many families have stories shaped by this disease. But the encouraging news is that with awareness, early screening, and improved treatment, many of those outcomes can be changed. That is why education and access are so important. Men need to know their risks. Families need to feel empowered to have these conversations, and communities need access to the most advanced and minimally invasive treatment options available today. These innovations not only improve outcomes, but also reduce the burden of treatment, helping men return more quickly to their families, their work, and their lives. We are also excited that the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts will be hosting a prostate cancer awareness event virtually on June 23rd with AdMeTech. This event will bring together community members, lawmakers, health professionals, and advocates who continue to the work of educating our community and expanding access to life-saving information and care. Addressing prostate cancer disparities will take all of us working together. It will take research, education, community engagement, and partnerships like the one between AdMeTech and the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts. To Dr. Stern and the AdMeTech team, thank you for your leadership and your partnership. Together, we can continue to raise awareness, increase access to screening and treatment, and help ensure that fewer families lose fathers, brothers, sons, and friends to this disease. Thank you.
Also, it's a relatively new partnership. It is a couple of years, but we are very excited to work with Urban League, both in Eastern Massachusetts and in Springfield. Our next speaker is Michael Blakely, founder, Boston's African American Bowl, and also a partner for many years. Michael, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Blakely. I am the president and founder of the Edwin and Erling Blakely Creative Arts Center. My work with AdMeTech has been for the last decade, and I feel it's so important that we connect together because of the fact of how bad prostate cancer is in our community. I have had members of my family. I've also had friends who have suffered from prostate cancer, some who have transitioned, but others who have beat it. With the help of AdMeTech and what they do and the research and all of that, it is so vitally important that in our community, our people get tested early on detection. I feel that the early on detection will help you to be able to minimize the damage that this disease can take in the lives of our families and of our people in our community. So I ask you, I urge you, I encourage you to, as much as possible, first and foremost, get tested, but also spread the word to your family and to your friends, the importance of testing. We will be able to save more lives, and AdMeTech will be able to do more work, more research to help in this disease in our community as much as we possibly can. Thank you for your time and attention, and we hope once again that you will get screened and tested for prostate cancer. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael, for that. We greatly appreciate your partnership for many, many years. I'm going to be introducing another long-term partner that we've had for many years, especially my time here. I'm going to happily introduce Phyllis Ellis, president of the Brockton area NAACP. Phyllis.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Phyllis Ellis, president of the Brockton area branch NAACP, and I'm very pleased to be a part of the 17th annual Prostate Cancer Awareness Day. Our branch's journey with prostate cancer awareness began in 2014. Dr. Faina Stern informed our then president, Steve Bernard, that Brockton had the highest mortality rate among Black men. There was cause for concern. Our initial meeting was at Lincoln Congregational Church, where discussion took place on how we were going to address this highest mortality rate. It was decided that AdMeTech Foundation and the NAACP Brockton area branch would host prostate cancer awareness events throughout the year to inform Black men and their families of the risks. Since 2014 to now, our branch has hosted more than 35 events bringing about prostate cancer awareness. We held in-person events until COVID hit. Prominent physicians would give detailed presentations on how to take charge of your health, to know your risks, and advances in patient care. We appreciated our advocates and supporters, Senator Michael Brady, former Representative Claire Cronin, former Representative Jerry Cassidy, Representative Michelle Dubois, Representative Rita Mendez, Representative Bridget Plouffe, and Mayor Robert Sullivan, who took the time to speak at our events throughout the years. I strongly believe that through our efforts at hosting these events saved lives. Testimonials from Black men and family members are a testament to this. Through the AdMeTech Foundation's Prostate Cancer Equity Resource Project, established in partnership with leading institutions such as Mass General Brigham, Beth Israel Lahey, and UMass, the goal is clear: to eliminate health disparities and ensure every man in Massachusetts, regardless of race or income, has the access to life-saving diagnostics and world-class care. Dr. Stern credited the program with helping move Plymouth County off the top of the state's prostate cancer mortality charts, thanks to sustained outreach, education, and community-based intervention. Our branch owes gratitude to Dr. Stern and AdMeTech for bringing our attention to prostate cancer in 2014. To date, Brockton no longer has the highest mortality rate among Black men. The NAACP Brockton area branch also became the blueprint for other NAACP branches to join our fight in bringing prostate cancer awareness to different parts of the state. It is a call to action to improve early detection, treatment, and education, especially in Black and Latino men. The NAACP Brockton area branch looks forward to our continued partnership with AdMeTech Foundation in the years to come. The partnership has made a huge impact. Thank you.
I am pleased to report that literally a couple of days ago, there was a new latest set of statistics released by National Cancer Institute, and we accomplished near equalization of prostate cancer mortality among Black vis-a-vis white men in Plymouth County and Brockton. This would not be possible without partnership with Brockton and ACP and broad community engagement at Plymouth County that Brockton and ACP have undertaken. We've done it in Brockton. We can do it in Massachusetts with its universal care, just like military medicine and veteran administration have done it for their patients. Our next speaker is Dr. Kenan Mackenzie DeFranza, President, North Shore, NAACP.
Hello, my name is Dr. Kenan Mackenzie DeFranza, and I'm the proud branch president of the North Shore branch of the NAACP. I'm here to share a message of encouragement with regard to prostate cancer awareness. Our branch has been in collaboration with AdMeTech for several years, and I'll say more about why. See, in our community, too many men are losing their lives to prostate cancer. About 1 in 44 men will die from it. For Black men, the risk is even higher. They're more than twice as likely to die from this disease. And here's the truth. When caught early, prostate cancer is highly treatable. A simple blood test can save a life. So let's look out for each other. Talk to the men you love, your fathers, brothers, partners, and friends. Encourage them to get checked, because protecting health is also protecting community.
It was also a great pleasure for me to introduce Jill Harvey, President, Mystic Valley, NAACP.
Hello, everyone. I'm delighted and deeply appreciative to be a part of the 17th Annual Prostate Cancer Awareness Day, hosted by AdMeTech Foundation and joined by so many inspiring advocates and community leaders. My name is Jillian Harvey, and I'm the president of the Mystic Valley Area NAACP. Our branch proudly serves the communities of Malden, Medford, Everett, Winchester, Woburn, and Arlington. I'm truly grateful for our partnership with AdMeTech Foundation and the availability of the Prostate Cancer Awareness Program. Here in Massachusetts, it's an unbelievable opportunity that we all should be taking advantage of. Working with Dr. Stern and her incredible team over the last few years has been a wonderful experience, and I know that for the individuals who have taken advantage of the program, that they have been treated with the utmost care and respect that they deserve. We're all here today because we know that cancer has an impact on each and every one of us in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's someone we know, someone we love, or it could be us. We also know that prostate cancer is the most common major male cancer, affecting 1 in 8 American men, and that Black and brown men are 2.5 times more likely to die from prostate cancer. 2.5 times more likely to die. This is unacceptable, knowing that prostate cancer is curable when detected early. Many of the communities that our branch serves have higher numbers of Black and brown men, including Hispanic men, and we have a duty to ensure that they have access to the right information and the opportunity to take advantage of this program that can be and is life-changing. In Black and brown communities, distrust of the medical and healthcare systems is real. Racial bias and inequitable outcomes also still exist in these systems too. And I see the work of AdMeTech Foundation and the availability of the Prostate Cancer Equity Program as something that can benefit every community. I'm proud of our local leaders in our communities across our state and the medical experts who have worked to make the Prostate Cancer Equity Program possible, as it's a step in the direction of correcting racial health inequities and worse outcomes for Black and brown men. Last October, our branch hosted our annual prostate cancer awareness event with AdMeTech Foundation, and we expanded it to be more of a community event. We had an in-person aspect in partnership with a local church, and one of our members and partners who we love dearly, who you actually heard recite some powerful spoken word already, Terry E. Carter, he also joined us that evening in person to perform some of his pieces of work that really had a long-lasting impact on those who participated. This hybrid style was new and a different way to reach community members. Just this past January, we also held another event at one of the pillar community centers in our area and had an opportunity to provide education about the program and share resources, which really expanded the reach and the audience. This partnership allows us to give our community members the information they need to educate and protect themselves and their loved ones against prostate cancer. The Prostate Cancer Equity Program truly is a model that other states could learn from, and it's a resource that can have life-saving impacts on Black and brown men in our communities and all across the Commonwealth. I look forward to continuing our partnership with AdMeTech Foundation with the goal of improving the health and well-being of our communities.
Thank you, Joe, for those words and your strong partnership over the last few years. I want to introduce another good community partner that we have, Zane Crute, immediate past secretary, New England Area Conference, NAACP, and the immediate past president of the Mystic Valley NAACP. Zane.
Hello, my name is Zane T. Crute, lifetime member of the NAACP and community outreach coordinator for the AdMeTech Foundation. I'm the former secretary of the New England Area Conference of the NAACP, which is the state conference that governs all of the branches across New England. So that includes all the New England states with the exception of Connecticut. I'm also the past president of the Mystic Valley area branch of the NAACP, which I served in that capacity for 6 years. The Mystic Valley area branch of the NAACP has fought for civil rights advocacy in Medford, Arlington, Malden, Woburn, Winchester, and Everett, and other northern Boston communities for greater than 40 years. Health equity is certainly in scope of things the NAACP has always fought for, from inception of the Mystic Valley area branch until now. Prostate cancer is killing too many Black and brown men due to lack of education and lack of resources. The work of the AdMeTech Foundation is integral to addressing these disparities in our community. This cancer affects all of us. It has impacted my own father. That being said, surviving this cancer is close to 100% if one takes action. Say it again with me. If one takes action. Surviving this cancer is close to 100% if one only takes action. 2026 has welcomed us into chaos from foreign wars, Iran, ICE in our communities, voter suppression, censoring our history, bad laws being passed, bad things going on in the courts, amongst other civil rights challenges. In the midst of all of this chaos, it is essential to recognize the 17th annual Prostate Cancer Awareness Day and save as many lives as possible. We don't think about health as the most pressing civil rights issue, but health is equally as important as wars, other civil rights oppressions, and other things we have to guard against. Health is the one thing we can take control of. This cancer is so increasingly common that nearly all men would develop this cancer if one only lived long enough. Most of us aren't going to live long enough to develop this cancer. If every single one of us was going to live to 100 plus or so, many, even more men would have this incredibly common cancer. So to save as many lives as possible, I want to stress the importance of early detection. I want to stress the importance of Black and Latino men getting tested. I want to stress the importance of spreading awareness. One needs to be aware of this. One needs to talk about this, whether in their home, whether at church. Women should talk to their men about this. Mothers should talk to their sons about this. Talk to your cousins about this. Talk to your siblings about this. This cancer impacts all of us. It impacts our families. It impacts our whole communities. If a Black or Latino man is 40 plus, it is important to talk to your doctor about prostate cancer and getting tested. One can beat this cancer through increased awareness and leveraging the resources the AdMeTech Foundation has available. I urge everyone to help reduce prostate cancer in one's communities. Take control of your own health. Take health serious. Trust the process, and you can make a difference in regards to this. I urge everyone to rely on the AdMeTech Foundation in regards to beating this cancer. Please use the resources presented to you today at the 17th Annual Prostate Cancer Awareness Day. Bring it back to your church. Bring it back to your community. Bring it back to your work. Bring it back to your group. Everyone needs to be talking about this cancer, especially Black and brown men who are more increasingly common to get this cancer due to lack of resources, lack of education. We want to make sure as many Black and brown men and men overall are saved from this cancer. So this is why everyone here is talking to you about prostate cancer. This is serious. It is what breast cancer is for women. Prostate cancer in men is a cancer that is 100% close to being beatable if you do what you're supposed to do and take action. So that being said, happy Prostate Cancer Awareness Day. Let's go after it. Let's beat this cancer together.
Thank you so much, Zane. It's really a pleasure to work with so many talented people in our work. Our next speaker is Fred Taylor, president of Worcester NAACP, and also a longtime and treasured partner. Fred, please.
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here with you today as we recognize the 17th Prostate Cancer Awareness Day, an important moment for us to unite, to learn and advocate for our health and the health of those we care about. I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to Dr. Faina Stern and her extraordinary team for their tireless work. Their unwavering commitment to research, education, and community outreach has saved countless lives and continued to empower families across our communities with knowledge needed to prevent this disease or detect it early. In 2025 alone, AdMeTech reached more than 20,000 men, making a profound, lasting impact on public health. Prostate cancer is one of the most common cancers among men, yet it remains one of the most survivable when detected early. Early detection truly is key. When prostate cancer is found in its early stages, survival rates are dramatically higher, and men often have access to less invasive and more effective treatment options. Knowledge and timely screening can be the difference between a simple treatment path and a more difficult journey. We also know that Black men are disproportionately affected. Black men are more likely to develop prostate cancer and twice as likely to die from it. This is not a statistic. This is a call to action. It means that regular screenings is not an option, it's essential. It means that our brothers, our fathers, our uncles, our friends must be informed, encouraged, and supporting and taking charge of their health. The truth is, each of us here today is an ambassador. We all now carry the tools and the knowledge about prostate cancer, its risks, the importance of screening, and the power of early detection. And with that knowledge comes responsibility. We must spread the word. We must have conversations. We must eliminate the stigma around men's health, especially in communities where silence can be deadly. Together, we can save lives, not just someday, but today, simply by talking, by sharing, and by encouraging men we love to get screened. Thank you, and let's continue this important work together.
Thank you for your words, Fred. We always appreciate devotion to this cause, especially in Worcester County. We look forward to future events that we're going to be having with you in the NAACP. Next, I want to introduce Dr. Milagros Abreu, founder and president of the Latino Health Insurance Program. Dr. Abreu.
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Milagros Abreu. I'm the president, the CEO, and the founder of the Latino Health Insurance Program. And we are presenting about our program for prostate cancer awareness. And we would like to thank AdMeTech Foundation and the Massachusetts legislators. Thanks to you, with your support, we have been able to develop this intervention and services to the community members. We'd like to introduce our organization to some of you who are unfamiliar with the work that we do. The Latino Health Insurance Program, it was created in 2006. In May of this year, we are celebrating our 20th anniversary. And our mission is divided into 3 areas: improving access to medical care, improving access to food, and to increase the health literacy of minority residents in Massachusetts. We have 3 locations in our state where we deliver our services. That include the City of Framingham, where is our headquarters, Boston, the City of Boston, and the City of Worcester. We have a multilingual, multicultural staff who deliver our services and include our providers, clinicians, and other social service team where we provide this assistance for insurance application and other resources. Just talking about today about our prostate cancer awareness efforts are being delivered in Massachusetts. Couldn't be happening without the support from AdMeTech Foundation and the leadership of Dr. Stern. So we congratulate them for today's day as a prostate cancer awareness day. Without their support, we couldn't be possible. And our efforts are being delivered across Massachusetts. We have been able to provide these events in our Middlesex area, Worcester County, including also Springfield and other communities. These programs are being delivered in multilingual, multicultural services and having access to physicians who can deliver these education and other clinicians. Some of the community that we have been delivering these programs, and like we mentioned before, that includes almost most of the majority of the city in Massachusetts and towns. But these are most of the communities that we have been delivered: City of Worcester, the Framingham, where we offer our headquarters, and also communities like Milford and Marlborough. But that also I mentioned Springfield, in Boston, and other communities. As we know, these individuals from these communities are the most higher needs because of the incidence rates. But why they are most likely to develop complications or even death for these conditions? As we know, this population are most likely to be uninsured, underinsured. They are low income, some of them disabled, with multiple care needs, with relative low health literacy, very unfamiliar with assessing and navigating the health system, with higher than average rates of cardiovascular risk factors, including smoking, obesity, prediabetes, hypertension, among other chronic diseases, and with several cultural behavior risk factors, including low physical activity, low level of education, and multiple other adverse social determinants of health that include lack of housing, poor housing conditions, lack of access to food. So those are the reasons for our focus among these populations. So talking about the prostate cancer awareness program, we wanted to thank again our legislators and the foundation, the AdMeTech Foundation, for their support. AdMeTech Foundation has been providing training to our clinicians, so we have been able to establish this ongoing sustainable prostate cancer awareness program for minorities, mostly in Massachusetts, that include Latinos and African American men. These men, through this program, receive the following service. They receive one-on-one education to discuss their risk. They receive free PSA testing in our clinics and also in the community. So the referral to a specialist is based on the result of their testing and the high risk. They receive also patient navigation for them to apply for medical and dental coverage and other resources in the community. So I wanted to share about our results, some of the results from 2025. We were able to educate about 2,000 men and their families about the risk of prostate cancer in the community in those different locations that we share. Among them, 1,066 men were screened using PSA testing and identify the level of risk so they can be properly referred to a specialist and other providers. Among them, 12 men were diagnosed with treatable prostate cancer and received treatment. 1,004 men were assisted with other resources that include application for health insurance and connecting to primary care services. So LHIP, thanks to your support, I've been able to reassure men who have normal results for screening, as well as assist men with suspicious screening by helping them to obtain medical coverage and referring them to experts for appropriate medical care. We wanted to continue to emphasize our commitment to prevention. This program is among the critical programs that we offer, so the education and screening is so valuable so we can improve healthcare outcomes and reduce complications, bad outcomes, or even death for these individuals. So better health outcomes, improving quality of care, and reducing health costs is among the main part of our mission. So I also wanted to stand and inform about our continued efforts. So in September of this year, we're going to be partnering with Mass Bay Community College to offer prostate cancer awareness in our city of Framingham in collaboration with other partners. And also to emphasize that in addition to the education that they receive, we also provide other evidence-based education, such as diabetes prevention and other conditions, because some of these conditions are also prevalent among this population. Again, we wanted to thank you for your support and to ask you to continue support to this program. Thanks to you, we are making a difference in our Massachusetts state, in our communities. Thank you.
It's a great pleasure for me to introduce Steve Bernard, immediate past president, Brockton Area Branch, NAACP, and a very long time partner.
Hello, my name is Steve Bernard. I'm the former president of the Brockton Area Branch of the NAACP. I have been working with AdMeTech since 2015, when at the New England Area Conference annual meeting, we met Dr. Faina Stern. She gave us a presentation and informed us that Plymouth County had the highest mortality rate for prostate cancer in the state. Both Janet Trask, Leona Martin, and I were shocked to hear this message. Had the opportunity to speak with Dr. Stern after the meeting, and since then, we have partnered with AdMeTech to bring prostate cancer awareness and education to people in Brockton and Plymouth County. Plymouth County, which had the highest mortality rate in 2015, no longer has the highest rate of prostate cancer in Massachusetts, due in part to the many forums that the NAACP and AdMeTech have put on at least twice a year for the last 10 to 12 years. If there's one thing that I want to emphasize here today, it's the same message that we got back in 2015, and that is that early detection saves lives. Black men should be tested at age 40 as opposed to white men at the average age of 50. The survival rate, the 5-year survival rate for early detection is 100%. The survival rate for late detection is only 25%. It is our emphasis that Black men, that men of African heritage and Hispanic men who have a history of prostate cancer in their family, and men who are over age 50 are considered at higher risk and should be tested or screened for prostate cancer early so that they can realize the 100% survival rate, 5-year survival rate. And of course, by being tested early, the survival rate is likely to be much greater than that. Today, I want to give special thanks to Leona Martin, to Janet Trask, to my successive president at the NAACP, Phyllis Ellis, for continuing to emphasize the prostate cancer equity and prostate cancer awareness and education as a focal point for the Brockton area and Plymouth County NAACP. It has been our emphasis to empower men to speak to their doctors about being screened for prostate cancer. We have been saving lives. At least twice a year for the last 10 years, we have been putting on forums. AdMeTech would provide the professional and medical personnel to provide information about prostate cancer to our community. We would have prostate cancer survivors give testimony as to their journey with prostate cancer. Dr. Stern would give us an update on the new and advanced medical treatments and devices used to provide minimally invasive techniques for treatment of prostate cancer. Since 2020 or 21, AdMeTech has instituted a program called the Prostate Cancer Equity Program. We not only now provide education and awareness, but we have a program, the Prostate Cancer Equity Program in Saving Lives, does so by supporting men during every step of their medical journey. We also provide VIP-style process for patient referral and care. I'm certain that during the course of the day, you'll be hearing from experts and other advocates of the PCE program about the specifics of the program. It is my emphasis today to give thanks to all the people that have supported the Brockton area branch of the NAACP, supported all of our constituents in the Plymouth County and in the Brockton area, and to congratulate AdMeTech for all the wonderful work that they've done since our meeting in 2015. So with that, albeit short and to the point, I just want to reemphasize that early detection saves lives. And again, thank you so much to AdMeTech, Dr. Faina Stern, and her staff for all the wonderful work that they have done. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Steve, for that and your grateful partnership for many, many years. I'm happy to introduce next Leona Martin, past second vice president and member of the Health Committee of Brockton Area Branch NAACP. Leona?
Hello, my name is Leona Martin, and I am a member of the Brockton Area NAACP. I'm a member of the executive committee and also a member of the health committee at the Brockton NAACP. I'm happy to share with you today how we came to get to know and work with AdMeTech. We met them back in 2015. Dr. Stern had done a wonderful presentation. And after her presentation, Steve Bernard and I were actually there. And after her presentation, I literally ran over to her to introduce myself and to just let her know I thought that her presentation was great and wanted to introduce her to our Brockton branch president, Steve Bernard. The three of us talked, and we talked about how great it would be if she came to a meeting in Brockton to talk to folks in our community, because the information that she shared was just so important and compelling. So we did that, and we actually had our first event at Lincoln Church. We had a great turnout, and we had just a great time there talking about and educating men on prostate cancer. And I just have to say, the rest is history. Ever since then, we've been doing workshops. We've been meeting at churches, at community places. People were showing up. Men were being educated, and the information was very helpful to them. And I have to say that the work that we've done over the years from 2015 until now, I can honestly say that we have saved some lives, and we're proud of that. And I believe that Brockton has set the standard in the state, for that matter. We have worked with men in a community where the prostate cancer levels were so very high, and that we just did not want to continue. We felt like we needed to do something about it. We needed to educate men, and we did that. And showed up, they asked questions, and we were able to connect with doctors. Dr. Stern and her team were just wonderful and have been wonderful to work with and continue to be. And then when the prostate cancer equity program was developed, that just really was a game changer, because at that point, we were able to physically connect men to the experts, urologists that were well known in the community and hospitals in the Boston area, and were able to see men, for second opinions. And it really made a difference. And men were very happy and satisfied that we were able to help them in that way. And I always like to share my personal story. I like to share that a brother of mine actually was referred as a result of the PCE program. And he was referred to one of the doctors that is part of the plan and the program. He met with this doctor, and he just can't and couldn't say enough about how wonderful the doctor was, and how he spoke in basic general terms that he could understand. And he is certainly a satisfied customer. So I like to share that story, because I know, this is a very personal thing for men, but we're here to help. And the PCE program, AdMeTech, and just all that are part of this work, we're proud of the work that we've been able to do in terms of helping men in our communities. And our local politicians, they have been on board big time. As I think of Mayor Sullivan, he was one of our champions for support, along with other politicians in the Brockton area that have been right here with us, have come to our events, have posted our information on their social medias, and just have been there with us. So we're very happy about that. Very proud to have such a big group of people that support this work. I want to just say that I'm proud to be an ambassador working with the AdMeTech team It's been a great experience, and I'm just happy that I've been able to make a difference in my community.
And our last speaker today is um, Reverend Houston Creighton, Senior Pastor, Lincoln Congregational Church in Brockton. It is in Reverend Creighton's church in late 2015 that we had the first meeting with him, his team, and Executive Committee of Brockton and ACP, and the rest is history. Reverend Creighton, please.
Good morning. This is Pastor Houston Creighton Jr., and I'd like to share a little bit of our experience here at Lincoln Church Ministries, the historic Lincoln Congregational Church here in Brockton, how we became a part of such a great program, and I think a much-needed program to help especially minority men and so forth in this Brockton community. Certainly our ministry is about helping those in need, and this is a timely need, the prostate cancer issue that's affecting most of our men. And we've been able to, through our media sources and through active engagement with the congregation, and reach a lot of people. And we could see the results in many of the studies that have been taken on the ones who have been healed through this process. And we thank God that we're able to be a part of this. When Dr. Stern came in and did the first presentation for this program in 2016, we were sold on it, and we went wholeheartedly into sharing this program with the community. And I've been pastoring here for about 40 years. And I have a lot of connections with the greater Boston community and the Brockton area in terms of congregations. And I'm able to share with my friends and colleagues that I worked with through the year. And many of them have come on in support of this program. So we're seeing some excellent results, at least from our end. And the support is excellent among my peers who are also sharing in this ministry. And we want to thank the Prostate Cancer Awareness Program for giving us this opportunity, for certainly that's what we believe that what the church is about here in the terrestrial. There is heaven, the celestial, but there's a terrestrial that we're also concerned about. That's prostate cancer. Helps us to actualize what we should be doing with our people in a natural sense. Thank you, and we pray that this program will continue on as it has been.
Reverend Creighton, we've come to the end of our program. I would like to thank again everyone who joined us today, leaders of legislature, leaders of community, leaders of medicine, prostate cancer survivors. Thank you so much. Once again, our call to action today: if you or anyone you know, anyone you love, need help, we have an outstanding resource to help men who are struggling with decisions whether or not to do screening, whether or not to proceed with biopsy, whether or not to proceed with treatment, and men who are struggling after treatment. Just please contact us, 617-523-3535. Thomas, do you want to say a few final words?
Sure. We have a couple of more offices that I want to acknowledge. Representative Walsh's office, thank you for stopping by. Representative Whip's office, thank you for stopping by. And I do want to thank all the community partners for contributing to this event, and all the legislative offices and representatives and senators that were able to attend today and to speak today. This is a entirely giant group effort among everybody to bring out this, not only this research, awareness, advocacy. It takes everybody, and I just want to thank you all for doing this. It's very important, and it's very encouraging that we still have very strong partnerships with a lot of people, and people willing to come back each and every year to speak at this event. It's a testament to the work that we've all done here, so I do want to thank you.
Thank you so much, Thomas. And at this point, I also would like to thank everyone on AdMeTech team, our consultants, Nexus for Success for event management, KLB Production for technical support, and I hope that everyone will have a great day. Thank you.